Hi, I'm Meg, and this is my real-life story of my post-divorce attempt to find somebody, anybody, who will profess his undying love for me, or at least keep me company while I watch Mythbusters. In which my fondness for young whippersnappers continues to grow, much like a tumor. It all starts with eHarmony, where things are slow, albeit nice. Yowza! The trouble begins when I post a picture of myself in a Star Trek dress on OkCupid.com, which is where I meet young whippersnapper Soda Can 1, a fan of said dress.
You definitely wear it better than Uhura. And before you ask, Kirk is better than Picard.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Did I mention I'm 25 years old?
Soda Can 1's preference for Kirk over Picard should be a clue that this is not going to work out. But I'm not very good at this.
Let's go out.
Okay. Ready! Oh, hang on.
Sorry I can't make it. I have to go to my cousin's out-of-town C-section.
You want to know the embarrassing thing? I actually don't realize he's blowing me off. So a couple of days later, I text him back and I say, "How's the baby?"
They rescheduled?
Following which I do eschew him, but the damage has been done. I heart whippersnappers. This online thing is kind of a crapshoot.
I live too far away to date, but I just had to let you know. I have the blueprints to the USS Enterprise up on my bedroom wall. I suspect we'd get along.
I suspect he is right. Where's a transporter when you need one? On the plus side, I'm expanding my vocabulary.
You look totes adorable. That Star Trek dress is flossy.
And anyway, the alternative is dating people I know, which I do try actually, starting with my best friend, whom I met in college in 1992 during a production of Into the Woods. He was the baker, I was the baker's wife. Obviously, this is meant to be, right? Unfortunately, due to me sucking at love, it does not end well, following which he's no longer my best friend.
Hello?
Hey, it's me. I just wanted to say hi.
I don't think I can talk to you right now. Okay.
I spend weeks moping about best friend, to the point that even Mythbusters isn't cheering me up. I decide I need a theater fix to fill my time and also to keep my chops up for when I get to Broadway. So in spring 2010, I auditioned for another production of Into the Woods, which is actually the same play that I met Best Friend in 18 years ago, and I get cast in the exact same part, which doesn't exactly put Best Friend out of mind, but at least I have something to do. Into the Woods is a musical with a bunch of fairy tales all smushed in together to one big story. This means, among other things, that there's an actual Prince Charming in my life. One, Mr. Adam McCall. And we have a kissing scene together. Ooh la la. You may have noticed I'm calling Adam by name. Everybody else gets an alias because I think it's mean to make fun of people specifically, whereas if you make fun of them in a broader sense, you can call it comedy and make a web series about it. In Adam's case, I'm not trying to protect the innocent, since we've never dated, what with him being gay and all. Nonetheless, he texts me one night.
You are totally my show crush.
Which is bonus because he is totally my show crush. And the timing is super extra bonus because I'm currently feeling really down on myself for sucking at love, and knowing a gay man enjoys kissing me makes me feel a little better. After the show, Adam takes me shopping and makes me try on clothing which I would not normally consider, but which is rather fabulous. Over the summer, we become good friends, and even though I'm feeling down about the divorce and best friend, he helps me get up to the 50% mark in feeling okay about myself, which is also fabulous. One of the things about dating as a 39-year-old is that the people I meet, even the young whippersnappers, come with baggage.
Girl, do you need a translation?
I'll call you. I won't call you.
I'll email you. I won't email you. I'll text you. I won't text you, but I might look at your profile once or twice a day for the next month just to weird you out.
I can't make our date because my cousin's having a C-section. I'm intimidated by your incredible beauty, wit, and intelligence.
My wife left me. My wife left me. My wife never appreciated me. My wife left me because I'm a douchebag.
Life's too short, you know. I left my wife because I'm a douchebag.
I came home from the hospital to find my wife had run off with my best friend. I actually have never been married, but I want you to think my wife left me, so you'll feel sorry for me and maybe have some pity sex.
I admit I am extrapolating on some of these, but I bet they're real. I e-visit in return, and all I can say is yum. Oh, Todd 4538, you who look like a young whippersnapper but are 39 and use good grammar, why must you live 1,137 miles away? Frick-a-frack. One night, I'm hanging on OkCupid and I notice a little button. Which of your profile pictures is the best? I click it and it takes me to a survey page. If I agree to rate 200 pictures of random guys, OkCupid will put my picture out there for random guys to rate. Well, sure, why not? The 200 pics come in 100 pairs of Guy A and Guy 2. Based solely on the photos, I'm supposed to choose which one I would date. Turns out to be an illuminating exercise in which I discover I'm not so much on the portly guys. I like guys in t-shirts. Baseball caps are a turn-on. Who knew? I'm more into hotness than I thought. Dang it. I also realize that a nice smile does a whole lot. I like the guys that are hanging out with their friends and you can tell they're having a good time. Sometimes I can just tell that a really attractive guy in a t-shirt, or out of it, is kind of a chump. And I choose the other guy. However, the scales tip towards the young whippersnappers. Of course they do. Time for a conversation with myself. So, self, what is up with the young whippersnappers? Well, you know, they're wearing baseball caps and t-shirts. I thought you just liked them living deep and sucking the marrow out and all that. Yes, especially if they do it in a t-shirt. Did you notice some of the t-shirts said things like Pimp Daddy's Chicken Farm? Yes. Did you notice the nice older men who were holding investment portfolios? No, for reals? Metaphorically, but still. Look, it's just pictures. There's no grammar here to balance the scales. Will you give up on the whippersnappers already? Find me a picture of a 40-something guy in a t-shirt that says, I love semicolons, and I will. The next day, I get an email from OkCupid. Random guys have rated my pictures and my report is ready. Most popular photo, the Star Trek dress. Go figure. OkCupid has categorized their responders by some interesting characteristics. The Star Trek dress wins by a slim margin among introverts, deviants, Christians, and geeks, and by a landslide among jocks, divas, dorks, overachievers, and also vegetarians. Also interesting are the pictures of the other girls that I was paired against. I win, if you want to call it that. 39-year-old Meg doesn't, but 13-year-old Meg isn't that self-actualized.
I win! What's self-actualized mean?
Don't worry about it. Over a girl making a weird face, a girl eating a sandwich, and a girl who looks exactly like me, only she's outdoors, and since I'm allergic to the outdoors, I know it's someone else. I lose to a picture of cleavage, someone I'm pretty is a man, not a man in drag, just a man, and a zombie. I can't leave this topic without mentioning that Thundercat Mangina likes the Star Trek pic. I visit his profile where I find empirical evidence that he looks good in a t-shirt. Dude, he talks about semicolons. And get this.
I respect the specificity of language, and I strive to be eloquent.
Too bad he lives in Australia, mate.
You're interesting. Profoundly so.
No. No, no, no.
Lost Boy is charming and smart. Quite smart. And mainly the smart is the main thing I like about him, which, knowing this, perhaps he will judge me less harshly when I mention that he's 27 years old, which puts him squarely in the young whippersnapper category of not knowing who he is or where he is going. We have a sort of on-again, off-again thing, me and Lost Boy, with much conversation conducted via text message. By the way, I do not recommend this as an effective communication technique. Also, by the way, if you have recently gotten divorced and then loved and lost your best friend, and then sort of but not really dated a young and 12 years your junior with whom you are in currently an off-again phase, you should resist the urge to let Adam McCall take you shopping. Because he will make you buy skinny jeans, which you will wear along with totally kicking 4-inch heels, and even though you can't walk without falling over, really, you will remind certain people of how awesome you are. Which seems like an effective, in-your-face player technique. Effective is not the same thing as healthy. But it may turn out that you've not got this boundaries thing down quite yet. So when Lost Boy says,
well, hello,
and gives you a lingering hug, you might decide it's okay to be on again. Frick-a-frack. However, I do eventually get fed up with the whole thing, and one night, whilst feeling very dramatic, I'm really not proud of this, I text him something extremely rude. He replies with something that, to his credit, is not rude. Nonetheless, while it is always a two-way street, he has done his share of dumb boy stuff, and I am utterly offended and angry. I would like to destroy him with my super laser beam eyes, but instead I have to contend with him being present at subsequent parties and events, mostly which I do by pretending he doesn't exist. And that is lesson 2 in why to not date your friends. Kelly, I'm afraid I'll never be able to make a romantic relationship work.
Why do you say that?
Because I've never made a romantic relationship work. Do you have any advice?
Tell me about your father.
Seriously?
No, of course not. I'm kidding. Look, just try and think of this as an experiment. Someday, if you meet the right man, you're going to have the tools to make it work.
Do you really think so?
I do.
That would be fantastic, actually. Aggravate says he may be in love with me.
I may be in love with you.
He's been married.
A few times.
And completes the phrase,
The first thing people notice about me is...
with...
my butt.